Саламатсыздар ма, құрметті студенттер? Алгебра есептен шешу практикумын ағылшын тілінде жалғастырамыз. Бүгінгі сабағымызда біз сызықтық теңсіздіктер, бір айнымалыдан тәуелді сызықтық теңсіздіктер және бір айнымалыдан тәуелді сызықтық теңсіздіктер жүйесін шешімін қарастыратын боламыз. So, linear inequalities, the system of linear inequalities. After this lesson, students will be able to solve the linear inequalities, interval notation of inequalities, solve a system of linear inequalities. In mathematics, in a linear inequality is an inequality which involves a linear function. A linear inequality can contain one of the symbols of inequality is less than, is less than, is greater than, is less than or equal to, is greater than or equal to, is not equal to, is equal to. Linear inequality is one variable is set inequality which can be put into one of the following forms, first and second form. In these formulas, a and b are constant, a is non-equal to 0, and x is variable. So in the first inequality, this inequality is called a strict inequality, and the second inequality is called unstrict inequality. The procedure of solving inequalities is similar to that of equation, except the properties of equalities apply. Next, we consider interval notation of inequalities. The best way to define interval notation is following table. There are 3 columns to the table. Each row contains inequalities, a graph representing inequality, and the finally interval of the notation, the given inequality. So, in first, for example, x greater than or equal to a and less than or equal to b in the graph representing form in this form, and interval notation of this inequality is given in this form. Remember that the bracket means that we include endpoints. In this inequality a and b we call endpoints. Endpoints. In this case, include the endpoints, and the parenthesis means we don't include endpoints. So consider the following inequality. To solve this inequality, combine like terms, or necessary to group together all terms with the variable. So transpose to x and 3, to x transpose to the left side as -2x and 3 as -3. We transpose 3 to the right side as -3. So after combining this inequality, we take this inequality and divide both sides by 7, and reversing the inequality symbol, we take this inequality. The solution set is x such that x less than or equal to -2 is an element of the real numbers. The interval for this solution is x is a member of the set of going from negative infinity to -2, including -2, or x a member of interval going from -2. So consider the next inequality. To solve this inequality, we equalize the denominators and remove equal denominators. So open the parentheses and combine like terms on both sides to x minus 6x negative 4x, and here 12 plus 3 is 15. So combine like terms, transpose negative x to the left side as plus positive x, and transpose negative 9 to the right side as positive 9, and given this inequality, divided both sides negative 3 and reverse the inequality symbol, we take this inequality. The solution set is the set of x such that x is less than or equal to negative 8. X is element from real numbers. The interval of notation for this solution is x, a member of the set of going from negative infinity to the negative 8, including negative 8, or member of interval going from negative 8. As homework, you give this following exercise. Here you should be solve these inequalities. Next, a system of linear inequalities. We write system of linear inequalities just like system of equations using the curly brackets. The general strategy for the solving inequality is same as solving equation. However, the set of solution of inequalities is represented in a different way than the system of linear equation. Each linear inequality is solved separately, and their solution sets are united to give the final solution of the entry system. So the solution set is written either in parentheses or square brackets. For example, we consider this system of linear inequalities. To find solution of this system, we solve the above inequality, multiply by step, solving the inequalities in the system separately. So start the first inequality. It is 2x plus 3 is greater than or equal to 1. To solve this inequality, we subtract of 3 both sides, and given the following expression, and to isolate x on the left hand side of the inequality, we divide both sides, divided by 2 both sides of inequality, and given this result, and we can express this inequality as x is greater than or equal to -1. So let us solve the second inequality of the system. For this, we must subtract negative to both sides of this inequality, and giving this expression. So we remember the rule of inequality, which says that both sides of inequality are multiplied by negative numbers. The sign of inequality is reversed. Since the variable x has a negative sign associated with it, so multiplying both sides by -1 and give following result. And next, writing the solution set of both inequalities in the interval notation separately. Before writing system of linear inequalities in interval notation, first we will write inequality in interval notation separately. After simplifying first inequality, we got this inequality. In the interval notation, it will be written as from negative, including -1 from -1 to the infinity, and the simplified from the second inequality. We got this inequality in the interval notation will be written as from -infinity to the 3, including 3. So combination solution set intervals notation both sides. Now we will unite the solution set of both the inequalities. The solution set of both inequalities are from -1, including -1 to infinity, and from -infinity to 3, including 3. We will unite these intervals like this. Now we will take the smallest beginning point and largest end point from both the intervals. The smallest beginning point is -1 and the largest end point 3. So intervals notation of the final solution will be written as this form. We see that we have used square brackets on the both sides, starting and adding points because -1 and 3 were part of the solution set. It also shows that in brackets negative from -1 to 3. Also, we call it closed interval, representing the solution set of that on the number line. Now the final step of the represent solution set of the number line, you can either directly represent the solution on the number line or first represent both inequalities separately as shown below. You can see that we have used closed circles for -1 and 3 because these two numbers were part of the solution set. We as homework you should be solve these double-sided inequalities. So it's all I have. So thank you for your attention. Сонымен біз бүгінгі сабақта сызықтық теңдеу сызықтық теңсіздікті шешу, сызықтық теңсіздіктің белгілеулері қалай оқылу керектігін, негізгі оқылу әдістерін, сонымен қатар оларды шешудің мысалдары, алгоритмі, оларды сызықтық кеңістікте белгілеу және сызықтық теңсіздіктер жүйесі мен оларды шешу әдістері, яғни әрбір сызықтық теңсіздіктер жүйесінде әрбір теңсіздік жеке-жеке шешіліп, жеке-жеке шешіліп, олар сан осіне жеке салынып, одан кейін шешімді біріктіретініміз туралы айтылды. Сонымен біздің бүгінгі сабағымыз аяқталды. Сау болыңыздар, рахмет.